from Craft and See with Laura B. How y'all doing? I'm doing quite well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Anyway, today is this challenge hosted by Tommy at Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. And what we're doing is, well, it's a challenge. And every week, there are 5 of us now. For every week, we pick a new challenge. Some thing that we would normally use in a junk journal, I guess, but we use it in a different way. So like she did acetate, and she was able to emboss, heat emboss, I think it was. And so the rest of us were supposed to take acetate and do something with it. It could not be a normal use though, so it couldn't be like a window to cover a window with. Sorry, I'm distracted by something on there. Sorry that I moved the camera. I shouldn't have touched that. But anyway, so I know that Hyung has done her video on what she was doing with acetate. So did Candace at Journal Me Crazy with Candace Johnson, or is it by Candace Johnson? Candace, I'm sorry, I can never remember if it's with or by. And then Rhoda from Rhoda's Junk Journals. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I have to get that name right. Anyway, they all went and did theirs. And I have not watched y'all's videos because I did not want to be unduly influenced. So the only one I have done is Tommy's, or I've seen was Tommy's. So this is my take on what to do with acetate. Now, I'll just go in and start with the first thing that I did. And hopefully you can see this. Okay. I followed, Candace had an idea about using paint. And because I ran it through, used embossing folders. Let me start off that way. I am sorry. It is late in the afternoon. Apparently I'm a little bit more tired than I thought. It's about to rain here for the next several days. In fact, we're supposed to have a deluge tomorrow. And so I needed to get the lawn mown before it became too much to handle once the rain stopped. So anyway, I'm a little bit tired. And so I'm apparently not thinking right. Anyway, here's the point. I did use paint on the underside, I think it is, of an embossing folder and ran it through. Now, this was my first one, I think, and the only one that turned out to anything like I liked it to, wanted it to. Good night. Words, Laura. Words. Anyway, it's not easy. If you don't want the whole thing saturated with paint and then you try to wipe it off, then you wipe off, like right here, you wipe off the paint where you want it to, and then you got to get the streaks out of it. So that's more rubbing and buffing and trying to get all of that. To me, it's a fail. It worked this one time, and this is the best I could do after that. I don't even know if you can see that. Can you even see that? Maybe not. But anyway, very light on there because I kept trying to wipe off all the smears, and you only want it in there, and there's no way you can paint an embossing folder and just get it in the lines. I mean, it's just did not work. So this was the first pocket I made. And was scrolling through my Facebook, and I did see that Kyung did something about acetate pockets. Again, all I saw was a quick snapshot of my eyes of her video that was sitting there, but I didn't look really hard, but it looked beautiful what I saw. But everything she makes is beautiful. Kyung, everything you make is beautiful. So, and then I had run several through my embossing machine. And this one, and then I did, like, this is like, I don't know, some pattern. I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, so I took this page and I printed it on both sides. And this right here is Botanicals Proteus or Proteus Botanicals. I think it's Proteus Botanicals by Janie B. Journals. And so I just printed this out too because I was going to do this stuff with it, but we're not doing that. So I just quickly sew it around this one. And we're going to glue it. I just thought, we'll glue it right here. So I hope Kyung, well, I know I wasn't stepping on your toes because I didn't know about what you did until just a little bit ago. I have discovered that, well, this doesn't stick very well with art glitter. This does not, the acetate. So I was going to use the Crafter's Pick, which is just like phenomenal. Everything's, I swear, I think I've said this before, you could glue the remote control to your kid's butt if you needed to. Like I used to threaten my son with, because he would always lose the remote. Or the car, his house keys. One of the two. It doesn't matter. But since we've got that, what I'm going to do is use my, oh, come off. What is this called? 3-in-1. I really am tired. I swear I'm not doing anything I wasn't supposed to be doing. I didn't get into anything. Quit thinking that. You need to stop thinking that. I hear you, Candace, and I hear you, Mitzi. No, no, no. None of that. Just, wow. Tired, apparently. Now, I'm hoping this glues better than the other one that I'm going to show you here in just a second that I did, because, again, acetate is a pain in the butt. Now, I don't like the acetate sheets I have. I don't know what to get with acetate. I can tell you I don't like what I got. Let me wipe some of this off, because I'm saying a lot. It's like you can make a drinking game out of it. You may watch that How I Met Your Mother episode where the college kids and more people played a drinking game because Robin always said but so every time she said but you had to take a drink, and everybody was wasted within 5 minutes. Anyway, that's how I am with I feel like. But anyway, it was funny. That is a funny show if anybody's ever never watched it and you get a chance. All right, so there's an idea. Let that dry. And you got yourself a pocket. That's the ticket, a pocket. Anyway, so there's one idea, not to take away from anyone else's. So yay, there's that. Well, let's set that aside to dry. So we have that pocket. Another thing that I did was I had done this on another copy of this, basically the same thing. And what happened? Oh yeah, I spilled coffee on it this morning. Yay, like first thing in the morning. But, and if it can be spilt, trust me, I will find a way to spill it. And thankfully, I got my coffee mugs came in today. Apparently, they're travel mugs. But the point is, they have a lid and a handle. I bought 2, because you can't have just one coffee mug. So, yeah, that went in the trash. I was very upset at myself. Oh, yes, I was so mad. But another thing that I did, because you cannot see acetate, as we all know, because I kept losing it on my desk. It's like, okay, I did this little fussy cut thing. Not fussy cut, but die cut. And where'd they go? I know I did them, but where did they go? So, anyway, so what I did is I just glued this down and then went around it with one of my glitter pens. Like this. Just, I think this was the one. Went around it. Each little individual one. Maybe it looks better like this. Each individual one. And then I went over it with stickles and let it dry. So there's another idea you can do. And that was actually fun. The next thing I'm going to show you is I did all of the prep work in advance because I was on the struggle bus all yesterday trying to think of anything. And well, yesterday trying to do the actual embossing and all that. And then I was on the struggle bus today with this stuff. I am very glad I did it off camera, because, well, you wouldn't have wanted to see me attempt all of this. And it was a day of, it was a screaming, cuss, and fume and fuss over all of this. So, yay. But I got it done. So what I did is I went ahead and I die cut the acetate. And then I found paper, printed paper I like. And I can't remember who this is from. I just have it in my files, you know. Digis from somebody. I can't remember who. Anyway, so I went over it, die cut the butterfly out of the acetate, and then die cut the paper. And this is one set of papers, so they go. But anyway, and so then after I did that, let me tell you, the acetate did not want to cut very easily. And I don't know if it's because most of my, at first I thought, well, it's because most of your dies are not, you buy for, oh, they're cute and, oh, I can afford them, and not necessarily, they don't always cut the best. That's, you know, so, but this is a Tim Holtz butterfly. These are Tim Holtz. This is all Tim Holtz stuff. These are not Tim Holtz. However, they ended up cutting about the same on acetate as, you know, with each other. So I can't say that I would have more success if I used higher end dyes. It seemed to work out about the same. Yeah. So, and then I went ahead and I glued the acetate on top of that. That in itself was another nightmare because you had to figure out which way to flip, like the butterfly and this. You know, obviously not the flowers. Well, I mean, yeah. Not this, because you know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm trying to say. In other words, it was just a day of, you know, like I said, scream and cuss, fume and fuss. It was just not happening. So anyway, so it's probably going to be a short video if I shut my mouth and get to gluing. So all I'm going to do is glue down this stuff, and I think we'll call it a day. I'll chat a little bit. So how is everyone? Hopefully you're having a much better day than, you know, I've had a good day. Not counting this, because I will never, ever, ever do this again. I'm just saying that right off the bat. No, I cannot imagine another scenario where I would do this, because it was such a pain in the beep. I'm gonna bleep myself, bleep, because yes, it was just, no. And when you glue it down, you can still see the glue. So it just, and I used glitter glue on these, and I probably should have used Crafter's Pick. So, but oh well. Live and learn and get loves, right? As the old commercial went. And I'm sure all of you know what Loves is, and if not, it's a baby diaper brand. And they would always say, you know, to advertise, live and learn and get Loves, because after you'll have to learn that you need something. Anyway, never mind. Shut up, Lori. Just shut up. Shut up and get gluing. Okay. Shutting up now, sir. Shutting up now, sir. And so I'm just trying to figure out where I kind of want these. If I want these. Go away. So if you hear any bird sounds, I keep thinking the window's open, and no, it's not. My baby chicks are just chirp, 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 chirp. And then my Isabeau, my dog, is snoozing on the couch. Anyway, all right, so I'm just going to try to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil, because I obviously do not want it going outside this at all. So I'm going to put a little mark there and a mark there that says do not glue past here. Anyway, so this is a very challenging challenge, which, you know, obviously, because it's called a challenge for a reason. But this, I had an idea originally, you know, And it was along the lines of this right here. However, it wasn't nearly as easy as I thought it would be in my head. There it is. Oh, couldn't figure out what to do with my towel, and it was on my lap. It just slipped down. And another problem that I had with this acetate, cutting the acetate, was that it didn't come out the same sizes. In fact, I'll show you one, and it'll be hard to tell, though, I'm sure, because it's acetate. And I figured out there's a reason they call it acetate. Because it's a pain in the acetate. That's why. It's a pain in the acetate. I will never do it again. It's like, I love you, Tommy. I do. But I ain't ever doing this again. Nope, 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 nope. Acetate is for Windows and Windows only in my book. But hopefully, I'll watch like Kyung's and Rhoda's, and they'll come up with a far easier job than I did. Or easier way. But then again, you know what? They may have been able to get this. There we go. Come over there. And they may have been able to do this much better and easier than I. I don't know. I just know that lovely Candace's idea did not work out so well for moi. Yes, that was of moi. Speaking of moi, that was Miss Piggy always said that. Something about moi. She was my absolute least favorite Muppet character. I did not like her. Nope, never have liked her. She reminded me of I guess, well, they call her, she wasn't even a friend of me. There was a brief period of time when I thought we were going to be friends, but she just wanted to have something to bully me about. She was just absolutely awful. She was one of those people, as a child, made my life, I'm sure every one of us has a story like this lady, this girl, and I will try very hard not to say her name because, you never know. But anyway, she finally moved our sophomore year in high school. She moved away, and I was able to breathe easy for the first time since the 4th grade. That girl went out of her way to bully me from 4th grade to sophomore year. But anyway, the whole point of Miss Piggy is she reminded me. She looked like Miss Piggy to me. She really did. She had blonde hair and she was chubby. But she just went out of her way to make me absolutely miserable. And of course, life had already beat me down enough to that point that it was fairly easy to continue the job. I didn't stand up for myself. I was pretty meek and, didn't know how to assert myself. And I still don't really that much. I'm a lot better, obviously. I think we do get better as we get older and get past all of that. But, yeah, I have never, ever, ever, and would never treat anyone as badly as she treated me. She was just absolutely awful. So that was my Miss Piggy story. That's one of the reasons, that was the reason right there that I never liked Miss Piggy. Or it could have started before that, and that was just cemented. The other thing I've discovered about acetate is it's really hard to glue down. It just doesn't want to stay. Let's get this down a little bit further. There we go. Okay, this all... pressing it down. So I'm sure maybe some of you have seen, I know some of you have seen my videos of my chickies out there. They're out there doing their little chicky thing. Getting bigger. Hopefully next week I'll start taking them outside if the weather permits. You know, I might have a day or two. Okay, let's see. There. They're all captured inside. So anyway, I was cleaning out the cage yesterday and putting the water back in, and I just right on the heat lamp. Ugh. Does not feel good. Now, somebody finally explained to me what these dyes were. Let me see if I can find one really quick. Here's another one. It's a smaller one. And I didn't know what they were, because to me they look like some kind of hieroglyphic for maize. You know, like it was some Aztec symbol for maize. No, apparently they're bows. I asked somebody, I'm like, what are these? And somebody came back and said, oh, I think they're bows. It was someone, and I can't remember her name, but she was Miss Paint-A-Lot's group. And this is probably, yeah, it's too big, but it's going on anyway. I don't care. You're going on. I made you to go on without thinking that you would be too big, and so you're going on. I don't care. I've had enough of this acetate challenge. You know, and I'm doing this tongue-in-cheek, complaining about it tongue-in-cheek. Please understand that. But honestly, Tommy, acetate, are you kidding me? Acetate? Although it seemed like, I mean, Rhoda came up with her idea. It seemed like immediately. It was like, oh, the next day. And I'm like, wow. I can't even figure out what I want to do. I was, sorry for the noise. I was stumped. Absolutely stymied. Absolutely stymied over this. So there you go. There's the little mason jar. It's not going to want to stay down because I crammed it full of flowers. And then there's this. Okay. I was listening to Rod Stewart on Pandora. So I've got You Wear It Well in my head. Which is okay. It's better than some of the songs that get stuck in my head, you know. You know how it is, those earworms you get? It's like I like some of their songs, but I'm not a fan. I would never consider myself a fan of the Beatles. And, you know, anyone who knows me in high school would know why. Anyway, but if I'm going to get a Beatles song stuck in my head, it's going to be the worst of the worst. The Yellow Submarine. I always call it Submarine. Submarine. That's the one I get stuck in my head. That song. I hate that song. I really loathe that song. There, see? And I've already went ahead and stenciled the back of them. So we have a very large journal tag. And yes, the colors are muted and understated. Now, I could go in here with stipples, but maybe on the butterfly, but you know why. So here's my next one. And this one is the one that's going to get the birds. Although I might put a bird on there, I don't know. This is, I have 4 of these, and they're little corner pockets. So I did one with the acetate. Let me see if I can find my screw-ups. Oh, wait, I threw them away because I didn't want it going in my burn barrel. So here's this one. And I glued it down, went ahead with my gel pens, and then glittered it, and then spilled coffee. All the blankety blank over it. People are like, why do you have coffee in your craft room? Well, because I like to craft all the time, and I like coffee. And, yeah. But tomorrow I'll get to have coffee in my coffee mugs with the lid. I swear to you, I need sippy cups. I do. So here's this. Well, yeah, it's actually a different one because it's got a butterfly. These have little bitty butterflies. So, anyway, and again, did this, glittered it. It was actually a functional pocket, although I wasn't happy with it because of that. It looks great like that, but I didn't like this part, seeing all of that. So anyway, again, little coffee, all that blankety blank, 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 blank over it. I'm very unhappy with myself. So again, we'll never do this again. Love you, Tommy. Not complaining about the challenge at all. Because it was a good challenge. Anything that makes you really have to scratch your head and go, what am I ever going to do? That's a good challenge. But I think this one got the best of me. One almost got the best of me. Okay, so we got that down. You know, it's like this one. I wouldn't have ever thought, maybe, oh, crud on a crud. Crap on a crap cracker. Or the other one is fudge sticks up a fudge tree, but I can never remember that one in time. So my chicks are 1 week, a little over a week old. They were hatched on a Monday. At least I'm pretty sure. Where I get them, they're 3 days old, and I got them on Thursday. So I've had them, yep, a week tomorrow. They're getting bigger. They're getting their feathers. They have their tail feathers now, you know, because then shake your tail feathers. See, this was I don't know if you can see that, but here is where the paper ends, and there, oh, for crying out loud, and your glue's going to dry. So here's where the paper ends, and here's where the acetate is. These were very, very difficult to line up and match. Of course, I picked the difficult dies. Yeah, I picked the difficult ones, because why do something easy when you can do it hard? That apparently is where I live. I seem to always do things the hard way and pick the hard things, and like that's not even centered. That's not even centralized, but you know what? I'm going to choose not to let it bother me. Because I'm telling you, I was watching something of Rhoda. I was watching one of yours, your waterfall series. Was watching that earlier today. I can't remember why I was saying this. It'll come back to me. Or it won't. You know, I never know. I never know. It'll either come back or it won't. She was talking about getting something, you know, on there centered. And I kind of chuckled because I'm like, you know what? I can spot something uneven. If it's off by less than this width, I can tell you if it's uneven or not. And it drives me out of my skull. My mommy number 4, as I call her, or, you know, mommy. She does not care if things are straight. And she has pictures on her wall, the same 4, you know, wall hangings. They're not really pictures, but anyway, wall decor. And they're crooked. They're always crooked. They're always going to be crooked. And it took me a very long time of going to her house before I can stop, you know, having everything pucker, because they're lopsided and uneven, and I just can't handle it. I just don't like it. So I've gotten to the point where I see it. Oh, it's there. But I no longer let it bother me at her house. But I don't like it. However, I live in a house that, I'm going to put this one over here. I live in a house that is neither flush, plumb, straight, or any other way they say it. Square. A square. There. And I'm having to make peace with, everything's crooked or wonky, but whatever. I like the house. I really actually love this house. I'm very thankful for it, but it is wonky. Definitely. In fact, the floor is slanted, like literally like this from where I'm sitting, because my table, I have to use this on my table because it slants, and so the table is actually permanently bent down right there. So when I come down the stairs, which is right here, they're right next to me, I can reach out and touch, reach out and knock on it. Sorry, easy girl. It was me, easy girl, easy girl. It was just me. Woke her up. So I come down the stairs, it's like 6 steps, and I come around, and when I round the door into my crevice, the floor slanted, and if I go too fast, I kind of tip to the left, and it's like a cartoon character going right around the corner. It makes me laugh every time. And, afraid that I'm going to fall. So, alright, so here is this. This is the only thing I don't like about these beautiful dies. This one's actually pretty easy, is getting anything stuff in with all the stuff. This is actually an easy one. The one I showed you that I'd ruined, that one is hard because it's got so many little crannies in it. Anyway, so this is what I have done. Here's this and this, and even some more little acetates, because I couldn't find them, because you lose them on your desk. Anyway, so I think I have said all I needed to say and talked y'all's ear off. And again, here we go. So these are things you can do with acetate if you want to play with this. I mean, it's a great effect. It's really pretty. But it very fiddly and makes you want to pull your hair out. And like I said, scream and cuss and fume and fuss. So anyway, I will talk to you all later, and have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. If you like what you have seen, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload something. Tell your friends, share this with your friends. It's called Craft and See for a reason, because I don't always do this. I actually did one with my teacup, and I need to put the other part up, this part 2. I've posted a lot about my chickens, so you never know, just craft and see. So, I don't think I'm going to really do tutorials, because I don't feel like I can teach anything well. And other people can do that much better than I. So, but we will see. Anyway, I will talk to you later, and y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace.